Okay, my name's John Dash. I'm the president of the Speed Racking Association. I'm going to share something today, just a little bit, real briefly, and try to get it as quick as possible, but hope that it helps. I'm talking about judges and judging. Okay, and we all know the age-old thing that we run into is people get mad at the judge. Why didn't they tie this horse? I seen this horse. I think this horse won. And then the thing about it too is it happens many times. I meet people that are on the back of a horse in the same class as a judge who's standing in the middle of the ring watching it, and they know exactly where they should have tied. And I'm not saying that isn't really a great perspective, because I've had it all the time, especially if it's my horse. So that's not a problem. I don't want you to get turned off right quick now, because my horse is always my favorite horse, no matter what. But I want you to see I'm just going to show you something today that I hope will help you see just a little bit from another perspective, and just give you a little bit of insight that might calm the emotions every once in a while, because things look a little different from a little different perspective. Okay? All right, hold on, let's take a look. Go ahead and turn it off. Okay, here's our perspective. Now I'm only sitting in the lower end of the curve right now. Now this is what you and I are seeing all the time when we watch a class. We watch our horse, we watch it. Now note this, that an average class lasts 7 minutes. An average class, that includes a lineup and everything. And I'm going to share this fact a few times. So let's say we got a 10 horse class, all right? So we got 10 horses coming in the ring showing, here is what you and I are seeing. We're seeing this, right? We see them coming in, we're looking at the whole ring, we're seeing our horse on the other side, the other fellow's horse down here, somebody's horse down here, we're seeing it all. That judge out there is not seeing what you're seeing, and I'm going to show you this now. Just hope it helps a little bit. If it don't, and it's not my objective to make you mad, but I want you just to look at things from a little different perspective. Okay? Now hold on. Let's go down and see what the judge sees. Okay, now here's what I'm showing you is in a ring like we use down in Shelbyville. What we're looking at when a horse comes past a judge, say now if he's there and he's watching the horses, if you've got 10 horses in a class, and maybe if you've got less, it'll be a little more, but usually it's not, because they still go around the same amount of times if there's 10 or if there's 3. But what you're going to do is that judge is going to see that horse 2.5 times, usually at the most, in that whole 7-minute period. Not only as he has to see that horse, one horse, only 2.5 times, he has to look at all the rest of the horses, the other 10 horses, 2.5 times. And in his mind, he's got to look at that and say, hold on just a second, let me look at this horse and let me see if that's the one I like, and let me see what's going on. That's all he gets to see, that horse. Now you and I, as we're sitting in that bleacher, we're seeing the whole ring the whole time. And most of the time we're paying more attention to our horse. I don't know, I get a lot of times I'll be watching a class and somebody says, did you see so-and-so's horse? And I said, I'm sorry, I didn't see him. I was looking at the horse I really liked when he come in. No pressure on me, but that judge has to look at them all. And you can say, all right, yeah, but he's just supposed to look in this direction. No, every judge has the same privilege to turn around and look all the way around the ring if they want to, but once they get to following one horse around the ring, then they miss all the rest of the horses. So let's take a look at what they see. So what you're looking at here is about less than 30% of the ring is all they get to see, all right? Less than 30% of the ring. So herein lies the issue, okay? That's why you and I will see something completely different than the judge will see. We'll see a totally different situation, all right? So all we're seeing, now he can, every once in a while, he can look up this way, catch a glimpse of a horse. Say he catches a horse up here, follows it all the way down. Well, he has seen 50%. Okay, so that takes him up to, almost 3 rounds, 4 rounds. I mean, not that much. It just takes, but anyway, he only sees that horse that limited amount of time. So that sometimes when you get all upset and you get to thinking that somehow that judge hasn't tied your horse right, or hasn't tied him, or you're thinking, am I okay now, Jen, still yet? Okay, so what they do, if you see it and you're thinking, well, why didn't he do this, or why didn't he tie that horse, or why didn't he see that horse breaking the curve? It's not always as simple and easy as you think it is. Sometimes it's a little harder to do that. So, and then this is one thing we run into. When good horses come in, say you see somebody you know that's won. Let's talk about the real world. You see somebody that you know has been winning on a good horse over and over again. And when they come in that ring and they start going, you sort of know that's a pretty good horse. You've seen that horse before. You've watched that horse. And you say, yeah, but you ought to always judge them. This is real people judging in horse shows. So you're there and you're looking at it and you're thinking, well, that's a pretty good horse. I expect that person to ride a good horse. And you're looking at them. Well, see, if you've got 10 horses, you've still got to fill in these other places and try to accurately get somebody in place. I'm just sharing with you, before you get too critical sometimes, just think about it. Now, can you still get critical? Absolutely. It's America. You can do exactly what you want. But what I'm saying is, sometimes you need to think about it just a little bit and think, well, you know, maybe they didn't see what I seen. Now, can a judge sometimes see exactly what you've seen? Absolutely. They say they were looking dead at that horse and they seen it break. Absolutely. But it's still when a man looks and he's trying to, or a woman looks and they're trying to pick out which horse they like and which horse they want to tie, sometimes it's like that. There is not an exact science, and I share that a lot. It's just not an exact science. It's what horse you like. That's why you're judging from your opinion and your thoughts when they come in that ring. You're the one that's judging, picking that out. Just a little bit different. But you can understand, they're only seeing that small area. They're not seeing what you're seeing. They're not comparing everything to what you're comparing. They're only seeing that small area. It's a little tougher than what you think. And also remember this, there's judges' applications passed out all the time. And you get your name in the group and you get in there. Now you say, yeah, but I've done that and nobody's picking me to judge. Well, that'll happen sometimes also. Because what happens is, the biggest thing in a horse show, the people that are putting on a horse show try to be as secure as possible, hoping that they're going to pick a judge that's not going to make them look silly. That's just the real world. And everybody thinks they're the best judge. And you can be the best judge just a few minutes. Okay? I got the privilege to DQP for one time for a pretty good while. When the show first started, I got the DQP. It was tough. You think checking horses is fairly easy. But when you pick up those feet, 100, 200 horses' feet in the night, I'm telling you, sweat be running off your nose, and it's not as easy as you think. Some things are a little tougher once you get in the middle of them. I'm saying sign up and apprentice if you feel like you can judge. But anyway, the main thing I want to do today is calm some of those fears, get you to look at it from a different angle, and understand that things look different from a different perspective sometimes. And here's the other deal. Now, I'll throw this in real quick. You say, well, why don't the judges judge from up there, or up here, or up on top, or up in that area? Well, I'm gonna tell you something. When you're up there in there, I sit a little bit last night up in the top area that everybody thinks people should judge from. Man, you can't see a horse. You could see them from down up on top, but you couldn't see their legs. You couldn't really see what they were doing. You think it's pretty cool, but it's not. It's just not. This is a tried and tested place to judge a horse, right here in the middle of the ring. Is it perfect? No, it isn't. But it's what we have to work with. I hope this helped you just a little bit. Judge's Perspective 101. Thank you.